Well, good morning, beautiful. I hope that this finds you well rested and ready to kick off your Friday or wherever you're catching this in time. To daily insight on life and love for March 12th, 2021, also being timeless. So, wherever you're catching this in time, it might be relevant. Also may not be relevant. You might just be watching an episode of what? I don't know. All right. Either way, hang out, enjoy the show. If you have questions about booking a session with me, my email address is provided underneath, or you can find me on any social platform. And I have a sneeze that's caught, so I'm anticipating that coming at a very inopportune time. How are you today, by the way? Pause this, go get ready for the day. I'll be right here, or put me on as background music. It's all, or sound. It's all good. Look, take your time. Really take your time. This is not going to be something where it's a constant stop and start. It's time for you to wake up. I see some amazing connections being made. I see a lot of stability coming in. I see a lot of tough choices for you to make. You're looking at it as a whole. You don't need to do that. There's nothing that has to happen concrete and in this moment. And I know that there's a lot of pressure feeling like you have to do that. Unless there's an actual deadline that has already been imposed on you, wipe that away right now. There is no deadline if it hasn't already been imposed on the situation. Open, transparent communications. There's so many ways to navigate this. And this is saying steer away from whatever isn't compatible. And then look. Keep your pots and pans. No, keep your thoughts progressive, keep them positive. So much is manifesting right now. And if we look at the mini reads, it's a time of healing. It's you being in a safe enough spot to where you can actually articulate your feelings to yourself and actually let yourself come out of hiding with it. This is something that has been massively guarded, and I know that this has been talked about more than once. This has been a constant, but right now it looks like, okay, we are strong enough in ourselves. We are strong enough in our position to where we can actually sit down and unpack whatever this baggage is that is holding us from this. This is connected to this because this insecurity right here would be something that normally feeds off of this. Now, this is looking like divine connections, and for some of you, it's going to be real ending to a situational hardship, which it's the security of the environment. Either that or it's feeling like a really tough choice on a job. Those are the three storylines that I'm getting in this one. So why would the past hold you back from this? This is something that we're going to be looking at because it doesn't make sense to your situation with where it actually is versus what you're feeling. So we're going to have to connect these two right now. So I'm going to shuffle these bad boys back in. We're going to look at job, living situation, and environment, and love. Because I love love. I love all the ways that it shows up. If you've been here for longer than a day, that's probably something you have heard. Either that or you've seen it on one of my numerous posts. Just going to put it out there. It's pretty awesome. Okay. Gears in motion. Everything is happening at once and it's making your head spin. You know that this is different. You know that this situation is different. It feels different. It looks different, but you're trying to talk it into being something that you've already been through. You have enough experience with the past where this isn't something that is going to be newly versed, but the reason why this is both different and not a new beginning is because you've done the work to get to this point. So this is different because the integrity behind whatever the situation is or the heart behind it is completely different by what has happened in the past. But that doesn't take away from your wisdom and know-how of what was in the situation. All right. So let's look at the love aspect of this. You femme fatale, love. Tell me about the love. Surrender to it. It's going to change everything. And I do see that this is going to be something that you move on with. It seems like there's a lot of difficult choices that you're not hesitating to make, but you don't feel like it's the right time to make. And it feels like if you had to make them right now, it'd be completely out of alignment. There's still a lot of growth that needs to happen. But the good thing is, it looks like nobody's walking away from the situation. That's what's making this different. It's non-toxic. Wouldn't you believe it? Everybody, I don't care what the connection is, has issues. Your perfect person isn't perfect. You're not perfect. I already know I'm not perfect, so let's not even bring that to the table. Right? Driven by a lot of passion, and you know that this is something that's going to make you happy. Right now, you are holding yourself back, waiting to see what the catch is. There's going to be a catch. Come as you are. This is beautiful. All right, you. So if we are looking at a life situation, an environment, give me the reasoning behind it. You feel like everybody has their eye on you and that you're going to be abandoned, and that this has been something that's been a long time coming. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop, and that's not something that you need to do. Let's see. Start defending yourself in this one. This is worth defending. This is a huge risk that you're taking, but it's worth it. It is in alignment. Let's see. Hold up. I see that you're more prepared than you are able to visualize right now. I see that you're not going to lose everything that's in your possession. I don't see a major loss coming. It looks like you don't have to start off completely new. There's a lot of substance that's going to move forward with you. A lot of material that is going with you. Now that could be materialism, or you have the raw materials to make this work. So if this is about a job, because I'm getting a strong pull for that for some of you, what is this I want to tell you? What do you need to know about this? Okay. Oh. Don't say just forget it because you're afraid that they're going to pick somebody else over you. I want you to make yourself indisposable to them. Don't be humble with everything that you are telling. Make yourself the best person in the room. Make them feel like they would be absolutely stupid not to pick you in this situation. Because they would be, let's face it. You're a total boss. They would be out of their mind. There's a lot of illusions that are coming to the surface right now about this position. And it seems like, it's going to be drawn out. They're sitting on this. They have a lot of pros and cons that they have to weigh out. Your main thing is to learn patience. Patience without self-sabotagery. Is that even a word? Self-sabotagery? What? No, I'm not going to use it. Self-sabotage. That's good enough. That's a nice blanket word. Okay. So this is what we are looking at right now with it. All right. So what is the guidance? We're going to go through the guidance of every situation. The general basis of it is that you're in the flow of abundance. So now it's time for you to heal from the past in this. You're getting a lot of signs and synchronicities about what needs to be healed in this one. Get in the flow state because this is all ushering in for you. Lots of yin energy. This is the divine feminine energy. It's open, receptive, and this is the base of it. Your time of struggle, regardless of the situation, is over, and you can start planning for the future. You can start taking the next steps. This is going to be something where you stop looking behind you. There's nothing coming back to get you and drag you back. And I think that's really important for a lot of you to hear. All right, so if we're looking at love in this situation, what's the advice? Can't wait to read the message from Spirit. Oh my God. Don't forget, if none of this is resonating, just check the timestamps and see how the mini reads resonate for you. Because if this doesn't, that might. Okay. All right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay. Don't get lost in your passions. Yes, you will be happy in this situation. Yes, you will have passion in this situation, but there is so much more to these connections. There's a lot that is being worked out. Take your time. It's not happening right now. There's a lot of not necessarily the difficult choices, but there's a lot of detrimental stuff from the past that's coming up that needs to be alleviated before this can take place. So in this case, then take the next step right now would be about you in facing whatever it is that you are having come to the surface in this, that you wouldn't want either your partner or partners or the companionship to see. This is not anything you need to hide. You're unpacking your baggage, and it seems like you're getting rid of old ghosts, old disloyalties. It's truly an ending in your life. It's going to free up space in you to have more capacity to love. You're not overly emotional in this situation. I feel like there's a lot that's coming to the surface, and to get rid of this is to have the closure for you. Does that make sense? Again, if it doesn't, I hope that you're enjoying the show. There's a lot of issues with misuse of direction and misuse of the dynamic in the connections in the past. I feel like a lot of your hesitance in this is stemming from trauma, dealing with toxic masculine energy in the past. Now, that doesn't always allude to males. We all have masculine and feminine inside of us. Whatever the control factor is in the previous relationships is what's coming up to be, it looks like, healed right now. Those old pains of the past, those ghosts, need to be resolved. And the wonderful thing about relationships, and the guidance for you not to run away from this particular relationship, is relationships will show you what triggers inside have yet to be addressed. So whatever's coming in is a mirror and a trigger to some sort of unresolved inside of you. And this can be something where you communicate and navigate this feeling of dysfunction inside of yourself to whoever's involved in the current situation, so that maybe there can be an ease in communication. There can be this transparent openness, and it also looks like we can get the tyrant energy out. You'll be able to see love and connection in an entirely new light. And it's also freeing up the idea that the worst is over. So the trauma from past relationships, past hurt, is going to be addressed now. You don't have to unpack it alone. You can do it with somebody, but as long as you trust them, because who you are involving in the situation, who you are granting the permission to help you in this, is going to be probably one of the most emotionally available and compassionate people that you have come across. So let's see. If we're looking at environment and life situation, what is the guidance? You don't want to get stuck in a situation and have that feeling of imprisonment going on with this one. And this is saying that's not going to happen this time around. There's a lot of peace to be held in this situation, and I think that that is scary for you. The peace is an indicator of something about to turn in your life from the past. That's not happening right now. This is saying that if you're feeling that peace, don't wait for the storm to come. Don't have hesitance in this situation and don't hold back. Continue about your day and see where these triggers are coming from and see how they can be resolved in a very logical way surrounding the environment. It might be you having to redecorate something, or maybe get rid of some objects that hold really painful memories to it. I'm not telling you to throw out anything that you don't want to throw out, but if there's an attachment to some sort of object that has a really negative story and a negative feeling towards you, figure out why you have to keep that, or why you feel like you have to keep that, and really weigh out the pros and cons. This seems like it's going to be a physical purge for so many of you, and I want you to break the ice and allow yourself the ability to get rid of something that is so overwhelming and unattached to you. It's like one of those boxes that has those demons in it. That it was made into that movie, which that was crazy. But don't hang on to something just because you feel like it's an obligation. Hang on to it because it's something that you love and cherish. Surround yourself with love and cherish, not obligation or resent an obligation. This is going to be breaking down a false empire and building up a new one. There's a lot of disloyalty surrounding these objects, and this is something that you will be letting go of. There's lots of endings that are coming into play with this. All right, so if we are looking at... All right, so in regard to the life and living situation, so this is telling you to do acts that are not so predictable. Maybe if you are somebody who's predictable to a fault, then this is something where you have to check your motives. Why were you holding on to such a predictable behavior and routine and schedule? What about it were you able to control? Where did you feel that lack of control in the past? And this is going to be something that you reconstruct. There's all new grounds here. So this is changing the pain into wisdom and to see where you actually are now. So if we are going towards the career, what's the advice for that? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. There's more than one opportunity that's coming up for you. Whatever it is, have your standards high for the outcome and have high standards for what you expect from the people who you are waiting on. This is going to be a massive turnover in your life. I feel like it's going to usher in a lot of positive financial abundance and situational opportunities. And I think that this is going to be something where it's going to be chaotic, but in a good, positive chaos where it finds a reorder in your life. So more advice, because right now we have the perspective. Connect with people in the position and get closure on the previous lack of security in the past. You are not somebody who is going to be made to suffer. You're not going to be made to be put in a detrimental situation. There's nothing for you to defend. You are not inferior by any stretch of the imagination. And I do feel like this is going to have a very positive outcome for you, but it's going to take a slow time to process, which that's where a lot of your anxiety is stemming from, because you want your solid answer right now, but you have to wait for it to come to you, whether you like it or not. And I hate saying that to you. So if you follow this guidance, what is the likely outcome for all of you? What can you expect? All right, so if you're watching this, what can you expect following the guidance? Huge investment, no longer holding yourself back, absolute freedom coming in. And let's see, there is dependable characters. And hold on, does this one be up or down? Let's see, you are being forced to turn around and look at the opportunities behind you. You are being made to look at the silver lining, the light on the horizon, whatever you want to call it. You are being made to be brave. So the outcome of this is bravery. It is substance and security. And it is, if you're hearing that bell, it's probably validation for you. It's also something where just because you have a passion for it doesn't mean that it's going to burn out. And it's going to be the most unconventional new setting that you can imagine in this one. I think it's because you were used to so much pain in the past. Change is upon you. Take your time with it. It's going to be new. It's going to be unconventional. It's going to be known as your new normal. And I want that to be something that you do embrace. So I'm going to finish this reading off with reading Spirit Message. So think of a loved one who's crossed over. If you can't think of anybody, it's fine. It's going to be from your main guide. So we here on the other side have one important thing to declare. Love is the answer to literally everything. We don't necessarily mean romantic or erotic love, although those are wonderful, but something above and beyond that. Everything is alive in the world and first created by love. Spirit sends love to animate life and to birth it into existence, love without conditions. And as the base in reverence and is a and it is based in reverence and is a fierce and joyful respect for life. Love thrives when you focus on it, and we want you to turn away from anything that causes it to wane. Love is when you no longer see yourself as other, separate from, or better or less than, etc. When you act as love, you give permission to the world to thrive and grow in it as well. Can you let go of what is not love and ask, what would love do? Love is waiting for you always and forever, and we just adore you over here. Love, Spirit. This was a beautiful message. You know this doesn't end at midnight. Go rock your day. Make this future come into existence for you. You are so worth it. Your individual storyline will always be more detailed, in-depth, and intense. So go ahead if you want to ask about sessions. I do have a sale that's going on, and my email address is below. I really look forward to hearing from you. I hope that you have an amazing day. Until next time, stay safe, have fun, and know that you are greatly loved and appreciated. Bye for now. Bye-bye. All right, go. Seriously, what are you doing? I want you to think of a loved one who's crossed over. If nobody's showing up, this is going to be from your main spirit guide, and do not sweat it. It's just as important. So we here on the other side have one important thing to declare. Love is the answer to literally everything. We don't necessarily mean romantic or erotic love, although that they are wonderful, but something above and beyond that. Everything alive in the world was first created by love. Spirit sends love to animate life and to birth it into existence. Love without conditions. It is based in reverence and in a fierce and joyful respect for life. Love thrives when you focus on it, and we want you to turn away from anything that causes it to wane. Love is when you no longer see yourself as other, separate from, or better or less than, etc. When you act as love, you give permission to the world to thrive and grow in it as well. Can you let go of what is not love and ask, what would love do? Love is waiting for you always and forever, and we love you over here. Love, Spirit. That's really sweet, and you're very loved. Love is communicating, and this is something that is in the beginning stages of itself, in the relationship and the connection. If this hasn't happened in your life, this is probably about to show up in some way, shape, or form. It's going to be unconventional. It's going to be healing, and it is soulmate material, soulmate, twin flame, whatever you want to call it. It's a long journey, and it starts with communication, so don't put a rush on it. And this, let go of whatever expectations you had about love, and let this become whatever the connection actually is. Love it without condition, and let it morph as time moves. It's not going to be lost. It's going to be evolved. I hope that made sense. And hey, congratulations on this deep connection. It's beautiful, worthwhile. Stay safe, have fun. Bye. Well, hardship is coming to a close. I really see that there is going to be a lot of abundance that's coming in your way, whether it's financial, emotional, or opportunity. There's a lot of abundance. This is going to be very specific towards your path, and you're getting out of this mindset of lack, and that's breaking a lot of old patterns and conditioning habits that you've been accustomed to. Spirit has been giving you a ton of signs and synchronicities. I know that it's really hard for you to believe in that and put faith in it, but Spirit says it is time. It's time to take the next step in your life. It's time to watch yourself blossom, and it's time to get out of this idea that something good is only something temporary. So whatever this is, It's an entirely new chapter in a new book in a new library, and you are worth this happiness. I hope that it made sense. Let yourself come out of the chrysalis, spread your wings and fly. With the sweet comes the sour. Looks like there's some healing that has to occur right now. It looks like you're getting really in touch with your divine feminine side. It's about being receptive, open, compassionate. It's the divine nurturer, and this is what's being embodied within you. So this is inviting whatever wounded aspect of you to come out and heal. You don't need to be rescued. That's not what that's about. It's you doing retrieval on yourself. And I know that this is stemming from a place where it really feels like there's no ulterior motive in this. There's nothing to be gained other than to have a sense of wholeness. It's simply a matter of fact of this being time to happen. You're not going to be hurt again. You can come out and play. I hope that made sense. Stay safe, have fun. Know that you're very loved and appreciated.